Rats cause an estimated $19 billion in property damage every year in the United States alone. And that figure does not include the diseases they are capable of spreading through contaminated food, water, and the dust from their droppings. Salmonellosis, Hantavirus, Leptospirosis. A single rat population, left unchecked, can be carrying any of them through your kitchen tonight. And yet a 2010 peer-reviewed study found that something most people already own a bottle of in their bathroom cabinet repelled rats just as effectively in a controlled field test as the synthetic alternatives sitting on a hardware store shelf. Drive through Amish farm country and you will notice something that does not match the rest of rural America. Grain stores without rat damage. Barns where rodent activity is a fraction of what is documented on comparable conventional farms nearby. The difference is not a secret formula. It is peppermint oil, applied the way it has been applied for generations, in a combination that the research has only recently caught up to explaining. What that combination actually does to a rat's nervous system, why an industry worth billions has very little reason to tell you about a $10 bottle that works, and why rat populations in many regions have been climbing rather than falling, is what we are covering today. Why rat populations keep climbing before getting to the oils themselves, it's worth understanding why this matters more now than it did a generation ago. Urban rat populations in major cities across North America and Europe have been documented increasing significantly over the past decade, a trend researchers attribute to several compounding factors, including warmer winters that no longer kill off as many rats through cold exposure, expanding urban development that creates more shelter and food waste access, and aging infrastructure with more entry points than older pest control methods were designed to address. This is not a localized anomaly. Multiple municipal pest control departments across major cities have reported rising rat complaint volumes year over year, and researchers studying urban rodent ecology have linked the trend directly to climate patterns that extend the rat breeding season and reduce natural winter die-off. A population that used to shrink predictably each winter is, in many regions, no longer doing so reliably. This means the methods that worked adequately a generation ago, when rat pressure was seasonal and limited, are increasingly being asked to manage a problem that persists year-round and at higher baseline numbers. A consistent, low-cost, repeatable deterrent matters more in that context than it used to. What the research actually found rats navigate primarily through smell. Their olfactory system is extraordinarily sensitive, built to detect both food sources and threats from a distance long before sight or hearing would register either. This is precisely the system that strong-scented plant oils interfere with. A 2010 study, conducted by researchers including Kalandakanond Thongsong, tested wintergreen oil, chili, peppermint oil, bergamot oil, and geranium oil against rats using a circular open-field behavioral model, a standard method for measuring avoidance behavior in rodents. Every single compound tested produced a significant repellent effect compared to untreated control areas, and critically that effect was maintained over a full 7-day observation period. The rats did not simply avoid the smell for a few hours and then habituate. The avoidance held. A separate study published through the KB Digital Library specifically examined peppermint oil, bergamot oil, geranium oil, and chili in field conditions, confirming the same repellent pattern outside laboratory settings, meaning the effect wasn't an artifact of a sterile testing environment. It held up when the variables of a real environment were introduced. The mechanism behind this is not mysterious. Peppermint oil's primary active compound, menthol, is intensely irritating to the trigeminal nerve receptors that rodents rely on for environmental navigation, in concentrations far below what causes any meaningful sensation in humans. Bergamot and geranium oils contribute additional volatile compounds that compound the effect rather than simply duplicating it, and research on essential oil combinations consistently finds that blended formulations outperform any single oil used alone, because rodents have a harder time adapting to a complex, shifting chemical signature than to one consistent smell they can eventually tune out. This is the detail most consumer products get wrong. A single oil peppermint spray, used alone, is exactly the kind of consistent signal rodents are biologically equipped to habituate to over time. Multiple independent reviews of essential oils as rodent deterrents have noted this same limitation specifically with peppermint used in isolation, while combination formulations have shown more durable results across repeated testing. The combination is what the research actually supports, not the single ingredient most often marketed alone. Why you won't find this explained clearly. I'm not suggesting a conspiracy. I'm pointing at a fact pattern that holds up under scrutiny. The global rodent control market is worth billions of dollars annually, and the overwhelming majority of that revenue comes from products designed to be purchased repeatedly. Bait stations that need refilling, traps that need replacing, contracts that renew automatically every quarter. None of the essential oils documented in this research can be patented in their natural form. A bottle of peppermint oil large enough to treat an entire barn or basement costs a few dollars and lasts for weeks of reapplication. A product that costs $10 that you mix yourself and that doesn't require a service contract isn't something any commercial pest control company has an incentive to recommend over their own offering. The research showing these oils work has existed in agricultural and pharmacological journals for over a decade. It simply never had anyone positioned to benefit from putting it in front of the average household. How to use it. The preparation requires no special equipment. Combine 2 tablespoons of peppermint oil with 1 tablespoon each of bergamot oil and geranium oil into 1 liter of water, with a small amount of liquid dish soap or Castile soap to help the oils disperse evenly rather than separating on the surface. Shake thoroughly before every application. Apply directly along baseboards, around the foundation perimeter of barns, sheds and homes, and at any visible entry points, gaps around pipes, vents, and the base of doors. Rats rely on the same travel routes repeatedly once established, so treating those specific paths is more effective than spraying broadly across open floor space. For enclosed spaces like cabinets, attics, or storage areas, cotton balls soaked in the undiluted oil blend and placed directly at entry points provide a more concentrated, longer-lasting barrier than a diluted spray. Replace them every 3 to 4 days, since the volatile compounds that create the repellent effect degrade and lose potency as they evaporate. Reapply the perimeter spray weekly and immediately after rain or heavy cleaning that might wash residue away. Consistency matters more with this method than concentration. The 7-day effective window documented in the research assumes the treatment is maintained on that schedule, not applied once and forgotten. This method works as deterrence and prevention. It will not resolve an active, established infestation on its own. Sealing entry points and removing food sources remains necessary alongside any repellent approach, and a significant existing rat population may require additional intervention beyond what any essential oil blend can provide. What the evidence actually supports. A 2010 controlled study found peppermint, bergamot, and geranium oils produced a repellent effect against rats that held for a full 7 days under test conditions. A separate field study confirmed the same pattern outside the laboratory. That is not folklore passed down without scrutiny. That is published research that has existed for over 15 years without ever being positioned in front of the people paying for pest control contracts instead. As rat populations in many regions continue climbing rather than falling, driven by warmer winters and expanding urban habitat, the gap between what's documented in the research and what actually reaches the average household matters more than it used to. The rats are still navigating your property by smell, the same way they always have. The only real question is whether what's currently sitting in your bathroom cabinet, mixed correctly and applied consistently, is doing anything to change what they find when they get there.